He was 3 months old when his father was killed in a car accident. As a Christmas gift to his grandmother, they created an old photo with his new son. They had to put their dog of 16 years down, but before they did, they recreated their favorite photo with him. Dad at 29, me at 2 weeks. Me at 29, my boy at 2 weeks. Nearly 30 years elapsed. Just before my retirement, we recreated my favorite photo of my oldest son and I. My cousin offered me a memory for Christmas. She bought all the accessories to recreate this moment, from 2002 to 2017. From the beginning, he has always been giving me a helping hand. 23 years later, I have graduated from college and he is still there for me when I need him. At age 4, I whispered sweet nothings into her ear. 24 years later, we are getting married. August 2002, August 2015. Being able to finally recreate this photo has been one of my proudest achievements. The university graduations of my mother and I. Christmas 1984 to Christmas 2012. The only thing that has changed is my choice of bottled beverages. Exactly 20 years later, we went back to the same photographer to surprise our parents with a gift. Father, daughter, and their pets recreate the same photo for 10 years, proving that some things never change. Happy Easter from my family dears. Me and my great uncle 24 years apart. My brothers and I decided to recreate our mother's favorite photo of us for Mother's Day. 22 years later, took a ton of effort to pull this one off, trying to find all the right clothes including a no fear shot. 30 years and beards. Back to the beach. Dad still knows how to relax after 30 years. Me and my bros. My dad and I 13 years apart. My son and I planted our faces on a cup here, then and now. After pre-K with my grandmother. 19 years later, after graduate school. Siblings, 26 years apart, Perth, Western Australia. Sleeping Beauty. Son who predicted he would follow in his father's footsteps and become a police. We gave it our best. 21 years later. A surprise for a mom 20 years later. Father's Day wouldn't be complete without our annual tradition of remaking this 1968 photo of Dad and me on his first motorcycle. 23 years. 35 years later. Birthday with a bro, with mine started 8 minutes ago. Father and son, the very first and last space shuttle launch, 30 years apart. Me and my sister 20 years apart, 1998, 2080. My parents are hilarious humans. My father and I in 1980, and my son and I in 2018. My wife and her papa 30 years ago, and our daughter and her papa. Recreated my first Halloween 21 years later. Sisters then and now, photos 20 years apart. So my dad and I went to Disneyland to recreate a favorite family photo. Started in the backpack, now I'm here, with my son 34 years later. Two brothers returned to their abandoned car in Pripyat. 25 years later. Brothers in a bathtub, 20 years apart. Some things never change. Sisters, 15 years apart. Recreation of bride's childhood family photo at her wedding. Nailed it, 15 years later. My mom hasn't aged since 1988. My dad and brother recreated this photo 26 years later. Here's a list of some of the most creative old family photo reenactments to show you that there are enjoyable ways to go about it too. From visiting the same places to striking the same poses, these awkward family photos remind us that while time flies, some things remain the same, especially a love for one another. So don't forget to comment which one was your favorite one. If you watched this far, I believe you must have enjoyed watching this video. So if you could leave a like and subscribe to this channel, that would help this channel to a great extent. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.